Adam Bolton, Sky News, Buckingham Palace.
Well, family and friends are going to join the royal couple over the road for a celebration in the palace in about an hour and a half's time now. Sky News understands the speeches. We'll hear Prince Charles describe Kate as William's soulmate. But what about those speeches? Joining me now, professional speechwriter Lawrence Bernstein. Very good to see you, Lawrence. Now, we've all been to weddings. We've all heard pretty dreadful best man speeches, more often than not, sad to say. Prince Harry's doing it tonight. What's your best tip for him? How do you go about it?
The key tip, as with every speech, is to find an appropriate balance between humour on one side and sincerity on the other. You overdo the humour and you become the buffoon, and you overdo the sincerity and you become the sentimental, tearful, sycophantic best mate. And somewhere between the two is always right. And then the key is relevance. You make it relevant to the audience on the day.
It's always a danger, isn't there, when you're, best man to your brother or your best friend or whatever, that you'll want to get a bit risque. All those nights out you had as lads years ago. How far do you go with that?
Absolutely, and it goes further than nights out years ago. It goes nights out a couple of weeks ago in the pub with 6 of you, a couple of drinks, and you start writing the speech and you find it hilarious. And I think that is the biggest mistake. And so I think if Harry thinks of a riskometer, and on one side he has something so dull that nobody's going to smile, and at the other end there is true offence, and you're aiming to pitch it somewhere in the middle. And so tonight, if he imagines he's sitting in the reception next to Great Auntie Doris on the Middleton side, if she wouldn't be offended, he's probably okay.
Queen's not there, which is probably not a bad thing. That's taking a little bit of pressure off him. What about the dads? They have to make a speech. That's probably as nerve-wracking as the best man speech,
well,
isn't
poor
it?
old Mr. Middleton.
Yes.
I think the Queen Mother described it as the intolerable privilege, I believe, of being part of the royal family. And tonight he probably knows exactly what she means. Yeah, he's the one who's got it. He hasn't been trained for life for this sort of event. And it's a much bigger deal, I imagine, for him than it actually would be for Harry or for William.
Prince Charles apparently is going to talk about them being soulmates. He's had plenty of practice, but even so, it's a bit special. It's the first time he's actually seen his son getting married.
Yeah, absolutely. And apparently he's already given his earlier this afternoon. And yeah, apparently it's very sentimental. But he was talking to a lot more dignitaries than the guys this evening will be. It's going to be more relaxed, so probably a bit more jocular. And again, they've got to make those speeches relevant.
I mean, just because you're a member of royalty doesn't necessarily mean to say that you haven't got nerves. I imagine Harry probably is sort of petrified at the thought. And I mean, however well you've written it, in the end, you've got to get it over to a crowd of 300 in the Buckingham Palace there.
Well, content and delivery are the yin and the yang, and one without the other is pretty useless. He has got training. But yeah, if you read the gossip columns over the last few weeks, then it's Harry's speech that comes up again and again. There's been spoofs, there's been internet reels, and so I imagine he'll get it right. But yeah, there's a fine balance. Too many hair jokes. And poor old William will start giving him some evil glances.
I bet. Good. And practice in the mirror before you start, I bet is another one, isn't it?
Never practice enough.
Lawrence, thank you very much. Lawrence Bernstein with a few tips just in case you're getting married in the next few months as well. Well worth bearing those in mind. He was talking about the Middleton family. Well, they are from that little village of